listening to the Announcer's Table with Daryl and Ian. This podcast is presented by RingIcon.com, the social networking site for wrestlers, fans, promoters, and everything indie wrestling. Log on today and create your profile, and as always, enjoy the show.
About coming back into wrestling and
hey guys, this is Ian.
Like, I really liked it. And, oh hey, I didn't know he was recording. You could tell me he was recording.
I was, and man,
I'm Daryl.
Daryl screwed that intro up.
He didn't tell me he was recording. We was having a whole conversation.
But this is the Announcer's Table presented by RingIcon.com.
It's Monday,
and it's Monday.
You know what that means?
Mr. Monday Night RVD. Yeah, but you know. So today is a week from last Monday, which makes
last
today
week,
Monday.
You should have watched our video. We talked about writing.
Yep.
And we told you we was going to do what? That's right. Thank you for watching the video last week.
Storylines.
That's it. Storylines.
Yeah. So
as a promotion and how storylines pertain to you, because we've seen it time and time again. Some shows go through bookers like
Candy.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going to go.
I was going to go somewhere else, but I was like, I probably shouldn't say that. This is YouTube. I don't want to be on that dark corner of YouTube anymore.
Yeah.
So I won't go there. But so let's talk about how storylines pertain to you as a promotion.
Right.
You want to kick it off?
Yeah. So last week we talked about writing, of course, but writing is a general aspect of it.
Yes.
Storylines we consider as implementing the writing, and so as a promotions aspect of it, as the booker, you are implementing the storyline within matches, and you want to make sure that these matches follow that storyline, and you want to make sure that your wrestlers are aware of the overall arcing storyline.
Yeah.
You before each match, as you're booking it, you have two guys working. You need to say, "Hey, your objective for this is, you're going to win because of this. This is the reason this is happening." Because if you don't give them some type of idea, they're just going to go out there and wrestle each other, and it's just going to be an okay match. You know what I mean? Well, hopefully it's just a good match between two guys wrestling. But if you give them a story arc and a reason they're doing something, they're going to take it. They should be able to take it to the next level. We're going to talk about wrestlers and how they implement in their match tomorrow on Gimmick Builder. But today we're talking about the promotion. So what else do you...
Now, what I think is very key, okay, and we touched on this last week in writing, is writing stuff down. Writing for the future, so you can see, especially if you have like your home core wrestlers that are there every week, or every bi-week or every month, or however often you do the show, they're there every time period. So you want to carry that story, you want to keep it going, because that's what's going to get the fans interested in coming back and want to see what goes on. So you want to write that stuff out, like we talked about last week, and then you want to talk to whomever is going to be a part of that particular storyline, and be on the same page, or have him on the same page as you, or whomever's writing it, and say, all right, look, this is point A. We're trying to get here to point Z, and these are the steps we want to take. So, we need to do this and this and this and this, and make sure he knows what his job is as far as the storyline goes.
Right.
All right. So, but as a promoter, if you're either the booker, or if you have a booker, or a writing team, which is what we think needs to happen, they need to sit down and just tell them, so they're all on the same page.
Right.
They know what spots they need to hit. They know how. If they need to get out of the ring and get on the mic to beef something up,
or not to get on the mic.
Yeah, or not. Yeah, because we see that a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like, people will just get on the mic
and grab a microphone
for no reason,
just because they think that they can talk. And just because they think they can talk doesn't, one, mean that they can talk on the mic, and two, when they do get on the microphone, they're just spouting generic BS that isn't anything to do with the
storyline. All it does is hurt it. So, like, we was at a promotion, a couple months ago, and this guy was, started to say, he said a couple things on the mic, and the announcer just walked over and just grabbed the mic from him, because it was stupid, it didn't pertain to what's going on, and that's another thing as far as the storyline goes. Everybody needs to know what the end objective is.
Hey.
All right, because if you
Yeah.
got these people that know what's going on, but these people that don't know what's going on, then you're kind of like, I'll use myself as a prime example. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I was announcing. Okay, I didn't know the storyline. I didn't know what was going on. All right, we was in a small building. It was my aunt and uncle's promotion. So I got in trouble, but I didn't quite get in trouble as like most people probably would or should. But it was a Falls Count Anywhere match. My uncle it was his match, but I didn't know how they didn't tell me to finish the match. I didn't know the storyline of this match, but their end goal was to do the pin in the middle of the road. My uncle or whoever was going over was going to get the pin in the middle of the road. All right, it wasn't a very busy highway,
Right.
but it was it was still kind of exciting, and so they started battling outside, and then I didn't know what was going on. So in my head, I'm thinking safety, and I told all the fans to stay in their seats.
Right.
And so they battled outside for a minute and then realized nobody was coming out to follow them. So they came back in and I blew
Gotcha.
the whole storyline for them.
Yeah.
Okay, which could have set up to something really awesome. And I
Right.
dropped, well, I'm not the only one that dropped the ball.
Right.
But that's why it's important for everybody to know
involved in
what's
this.
going on and what the end objective is.
Right. I mean, that is a great example of, one, the announcer didn't know. Two, the referee might not have known. Not for that example, but a lot of the times mess ups come from the referee not knowing what the objective is.
Yeah.
Because they can. Daryl screwed it up before as a referee.
I did.
But,
I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah, because he just didn't know exactly how because it was an elimination match.
It was
He
a
didn't
tag
know.
team elimination
Yeah, he didn't
match.
know exactly how each person was going to go out and some of the stipulations of the way they were doing the match, and that just comes from the bad communication.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which happens. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here. Even with WWE writing down to the letter, you know what I mean, of what
Things
you're
still
going to say. Things still happen.
Yeah.
So, as for storyline with the promotion, just make sure that everyone involved is informed. You know what I mean? There's a lot of technical ways you can do it. Write out a script and have it printed for each person. You know what I mean? Not a script, but a lineup of things that you want done for either the night or for the month or something like that. Have it
just
printed
get a
up.
whiteboard and
Right.
bring it with you as part of your gear
Right.
at your show, since it's your show, and write it out. That way everybody sees it and they say, "Oh, all right, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing." So.
Right. So, that's just a lot of. It's. I don't want to say it's basic stuff that everyone should know, but it's a lot of things that people are so overwhelmed as a promoter. We say that a lot, is that you just get overwhelmed with, because of being a promoter, you have so much on your shoulders that a lot of things get unnoticed, and you don't take the time to really to do everything 100%. So we're just trying to remind you as a promoter or a booker or even a wrestler just to remember to incorporate these things.
Yeah,
So.
because like when if not everybody's on the same page, some people could get like really upset and not want to cut back.
Right.
That wasn't my case. Like with the tag team, is a 4-way tag team elimination. He was working the show. It was up in Tennessee. I was just going to hang out. I wasn't scheduled to do anything, nothing like that. And then they asked him, like, "Hey, look, we're short a referee. Can you do this match?" And I'm like,
Right.
"Sure, absolutely." They told me it was elimination style. I knew who was supposed to win. Okay, but the key thing is that we talked on this as in Ref Builder before.
Right.
Is I counted the guy who was supposed to go over. I counted a 3 count, and he's like looking at me like I was going for the hero kick out. I'm like, well, then you should have kicked out.
Yeah.
But he did it, and he kind of argued with me in the ring, and it makes me look like a putz, and so I end up leaving him in the match, and it just wasn't pretty in the back. It was like it was a whole messed up spot, not necessarily because I really screwed up, but whatever. But that's why it's important to have the communication and everybody to be on the same page of what's going to happen.
Right.
So.
And that's just implementing storyline. So the overall arcing writing is what we talked about last week. Storyline, getting it deep into each match and having a, don't get upset if things don't go the way you wrote them, because wrestling does evolve as things move and progress. So don't get mad or
I mean, if
angry.
you're writing a storyline for 2 years, I mean, come on.
Things are going to change.
Yeah, this is an independent show. People are not under contract. So,
Right.
I mean, you need to have that flexible room.
Right.
But you need to have a general purpose of what's going on. So.
Right. So, I mean, that's pretty much it I have for storylines with promotions. Tomorrow we're actually going to talk about storylines as it pertains to the wrestlers, the referees, and valets and things like that.
And then next week we're going to give you free dating advice.
I would not take that from Daryl. So, that's pretty much it for storylines today. Tomorrow, like I said, check out Gimmick Builder. We're going to talk about storylines again. So,
yep, absolutely. See you tomorrow.
See ya tomorrow. No dancing, Daryl.